Oh hey viewers! So it's been a while, but I'm back. I've been participating in this FIA season, but having a job now and all that's been making me too busy to make videos. But as you can see here, it's a 224 point race, so about third split, door number 15, so about higher than what we're normally used to, but I'm good. I feel good about this combo. But you can see there in 18th, we have a famous figure, if you've raced in North America at this level, Luisdinisio, possibly the dirtiest player in Gran Turismo to have ever existed. Now, Momoz is dirty, but only when he gets set off. He can race cleanly. This guy, Luisdinisio, just can't race cleanly for whatever reason. But anyways, we switch now to qualifying, and I did not want to be behind anyone, especially in these cars because of the dirty air. So I tried spacing myself out. You can see there's a pretty good gap to me and the person in front, but then just through the bus stop chicane, everyone just bunches up, and then now I'm right behind the person in front. So not ideal, but I couldn't really slow down much because there's a group behind me as well. So I decided to just go for it, see what happens. We brake, hit a braking point, come around, and you can see just how close we are to them. So I decided to back out and decided to go again. But unfortunately, that means I only have one chance of qualifying now, since I only have one hot lap. So as we come around, looking at the qualifying times, I knew I could qualify pretty high up. Like I said, I think GR1 at Spa is a really good combo for me, but only problem is that was a pretty scruffy lap. So you can see I get a 157.5, which is only good enough for 13th position. Now, if I could just shave half a second off, you could see I'd be qualifying in 8th, 7th, you know, much higher up. But alas, we're just going to go ahead and go. So I just want to point out 10th here. Awesome PSN name, best name ever. But here we are on 13th, and just to highlight, our friend back here is starting in 19th. So I was very nervous about the start because, yeah, I was expecting them to just completely wipe out the entire field. But anyways, we go ahead and start the race. Flick off track control real quick, starting chaos behind us. We get off the line, move to the inside immediately to try to not get rammed, but then you can see a traffic jam points up ahead. We hit jokers. Predictably, Luis decides to go and send it up. People are spinning everywhere, people are going everywhere. I'm back up to 6th. I got a penalty for that. Luis is now shoving us off the track. We're still up in 6th. We got a 1-second penalty, and K-Funk is now on our side. I tried to stay beside them. Probably not a good idea on these cold racing hards. Couldn't make it work. And now we're coming to the penalty line in 8th position, but everyone up ahead has penalties too, so we slow down, serve our penalty, get back in. Well, we pass one person, get past a ton. We get past Luis again, but then Lilik money comes there. It's just, there's a lot going on. They're hard to keep up, as you can tell. I just brake and let Luis go. I didn't want to deal with that crap. I'm smarter than that. But anyways, why don't we go ahead and decompress that start. So, starting with Lilik money, you can see they get a really good start. They're up the inside. They brake. You can see first up ahead just outbrakes themselves. They get punted from behind. They just go into the back of second because they get tapped too. They go around, and Lilik now gets a 2-second penalty for their troubles, even though they're a complete innocent bystander. So let's go ahead with Impatient Meteor here. You can see they get a pretty good start too, and they just go into the back of K-Funk, and then they get, because of that slowdown, they get hit in the back, and then it's just a Constantine effect. That was the one that I was involved in. You can see there Luis is trying to push me and SK off the circuit, and you can see how many cars are going into Eau Rouge and Radion at once. You can see there I'm trying to hang around, but I can't because I'm on cold racing hards. Yeah, so we're going to switch now to Joker. I thought I rear-ended them because I didn't brake soon enough, but it turns out it's just because they slowed down to a standstill after making contact up ahead. So you can see they're just minding their own business, doing pretty well. Then they just punt the people ahead of them, then they get punted behind by me, and people hit me, and then again it's just a massive mess. They get a penalty even though they're an innocent bystander. I mean, most of us are innocent bystanders in that, but hey, you know, PD can't make a penalty system to save their life. But anyways, just showing what happened with Lisa here. They make a ton of places up, but then they just outbrake themselves coming into Lecombe. And unfortunately, that means that they get a shortcut penalty, a contact penalty, and dirty tires and all that. So from about 16th to 10th back to 17th again. So lots of ebb and flow going on here. So just another clip here showing MOP Racer. So they're coming in. You can see how crazy it is in the Radeon. They make contact with SK makes contact with them, whatever. It's a mess. You can see just Andre's trying to work their way through. They get a little twitch, accidentally hit, they get a shortcut penalty, and you can see just how many places you can make up by not getting a penalty at turn 1. And unfortunately, they outbreak themselves too, as well as Andre. They kind of follow each other off, but you know they come off a little better than Lisa. They're able to get back on track and want to lose about 1 or 2 positions as they're able to recover back up into 7th. So that was a lot. So we're going to cut back to our race here. So yeah, we're coming out of Le Combe, we're coming into Bruxelles, and you can see Luis is up to their old dirty tricks, just shoving Lilic out of the way, and you can see there that it's heating up quite a bit up ahead. So yeah, you can see that Luis is now just shoving Lilic off the side. That forces me into them, and I almost get off. That unsettles me into Pouan, so I completely screw up the entry into Pouan. Luckily, someone follows me off, is able to tap me back up, but I lose 3 positions because of that. So now I'm back down 15th. So yeah, and some alien activity going on there as SK just jumps up in excitement for being murdered, I guess. But anyways, yeah, we screw up Stavolo, probably the worst corner on the track for me, losing their position because of that. And this was just not a good first lap for me, not just because of the penalties and Luis, but also just because I just had a really bad first lap on these hards. So you can see here I'm all over the back of Double D Dog. I don't want to make the pass, and you know, Lisa comes out of nowhere. That 908 is just a rocket ship in the straight lines with its top speed, but I don't want to make the pass because I decided, you know, I've been hit. I'm just going to go ahead and go for the 1 stop. So I'm going to pull into the pits here, and you can see a couple people ahead do that too. So if you're unaware, the pit stop times have become super long now in GT Sport. You can see just how long it is. Those tires are going to turn to ice just out there, but going to use this chance now to catch up a little bit with what's going on and tell you about the pit strategy. So this race required racing hards only, but all 3 tires are available. So it was a toss-up between either a no stop on hards or a 1 stop with the softs and 1 hard lap. So I was originally going to go for the no stop, but because of the number of people ahead of me that were fighting and just, you know, the sheer chaos that happened, I decided just to go ahead and go for the 1 stop. That way I have the faster tire compound and I can attack more. Since I was already so far back, I didn't really feel much could be made from there. But anyways, we come out in 18th position. You can see that you saw the person behind us had a penalty, and Lisa up ahead is about to serve a penalty, so that means we should be able to go into 17th pretty easily. But anyways, yeah, I decided to go for the more aggressive strategy just because, you know, what's there to lose now, and we were able to get past Lisa and claim 17th position. Now, car choice is another interesting factor in this race. So there were really kind of 3 options mainly. It was either the R18, the TSO50, or the 908. So the TSO50 is it's a hybrid, so good acceleration from a hybrid system, good turning, and not that good top speed though. But then the R18 just is a rocket ship out of the straights because of the battery. Versus the 908, which has no battery and can't accelerate, but has an insanely high top speed. And as you saw there, I kind of screwed up Pouan, and that allows Lisa to catch back up. Now, I want to stay ahead of Lisa because, like I said, the 908 is a rocket ship. It has a really high top speed, but the problem is, like I said, because there's no hybrid system, it's bad at accelerating. So you can get stuck behind them if you aren't able to pass. So you can see here, I have a half a second gap to Lisa coming out of turn 16. And you can see just how quickly that gap is disappearing. 3/10, 2/10, 1/10. They're coming up right behind me now. I take the apex, I go defensive into the bus off chicane. I do not want to let them by me. So when I hit my braking point just fine. They hit theirs good. We hit the apex. Looks like they were trying to go maybe for a cutback, but we're able to go ahead and keep position. You can see there, look how much space I just opened up between me and Lisa. This is because of the TSO50's hybrid. I can just accelerate so much quicker out of there. So that went from being like, what, less than a tenth to over 1.5 seconds now. So granted, they're fighting with Moto Guzzi, but still, there's a huge gap. So anyways, we're going to jump ahead now to the end of lap 4 because nothing much else happened there. And we're catching up to McLaren Fiji. Now again, like I said, the R18, amazing battery deployment. It just engages warp drive when the battery is full, but it eats those batteries up like no tomorrow. I mean, technically it's a flywheel, but come at me. Anyways, so you can see there, I knew that their batteries depleted with just how much I was accelerating and catching up to them. And you can see there, they make a little mistake. I have my batteries fully deployed. I'm in their slipstream. I decide I'm just going to go for it. I have the advantage right now. I'm going to press it. I'm going to try to pass through a route. I've done it before, and they back out and give me the position because I guess they realize race smarter, not harder. So you can see here the gap. They're coming back at me due to slipstream, so I'm just a little cautious, hoping that they're not going to be able to make a return move into Lecombe, but luckily I'm able to go ahead and keep the position. But yeah, you can see here the advantage is just that the Toyota may not deploy the battery as much as the Audi, but at the same time, it keeps the battery for much longer throughout the race, and it allows you to accelerate out pretty much every corner. And as you can see there, I screw up the turn with no name, and that allows McLaren Fiji to catch back up to me. Now, I don't know if they were going to attack or not, so I just went semi-defensive just to be safe. That compromises my run through Pouan, though, so they get the inside out of Pouan, but this gives me the inside for turn 13, which is campus, I believe. And so you can see there, looks like they're going for a cutback maneuver, but I just parked it on the apex, and honestly, I think they're just trying to play it smart here too. So may have ended up sacrificing some time I didn't need to, just from unnecessary defending, but I wasn't sure. I did not want to get stuck behind the R18 because I knew that I could out-accelerate them in every corner just because they didn't have the battery deployment, especially coming out of La Source, as we saw how we made the maneuver. So you can see here where they're pulling up a little bit in the slipstream. Again, I don't know how much they're going to attack, so I just go a little semi-defensive, slide to the middle, hit our braking point, hit the apex, come around the final bus stop corner chicane, and you can see just how much of a gap we're pulling to them because of the battery deployment differences. So I wish there was really more to show, but after this, it kind of just became a time trial with me, just because you can see how big of a gap there is up ahead, and the people behind are fighting and not in the TSO50. So we're going to go ahead and cut to the end of lap 11, and this is where the strategies start merging. So Double D-Dog up here is on hards. I could tell because of how I was closing by like 2 seconds a lap, and I decided to go aggressive and go for the move into the bus stop, and they allow it to happen. Thank you so much for doing that. And so now we are up into 13th and crossing in line to start lap number 12. So again, nothing much happens this lap because, yeah, the race kind of spread out due to the different strategies, but it's going to come together in a juicy finale on lap 13. So we're going to go ahead and jump to that now. So you can see all the front runners are pitting. So everyone up ahead were doing the, well, not everyone, most people were doing the one stop. So they were on the racing softs and did their softs in first and now going to the hards. You can see here that I was 13th coming into the bus stop chicane as we start lap 13 now. And we're passing a ton of people in the pits as they change the tires, and now you can see that the person up ahead made a mistake, and we are now in 9th place due to their strategy. So we're going to go ahead and make the overtake on 8th position since we're catching up to them. They're on the R18, they're vulnerable, and they have a penalty. But unfortunately, the person in 7th up ahead of us is Luisdinisio. Now, I'm not going to lie, it was very tempting to punt them off, especially here where there's sand. Like, that would just be such an easy way to punt them and wouldn't have to worry. But with the penalty system, I figured I'd get a penalty, and this being the last lap with multiple people behind me, I really didn't want to do that. So I go ahead and just play it completely safe. They're on hard tires, I know that, and they're going very slow because of that. But I'm just not going to pass them because I really don't feel like getting wiped out in the last lap after what I thought was a pretty good recovery. So again, I'm just hanging back, and looks like I can maintain the gap with the Audi behind me. They go slow through Wuhan. I'm just going to back out. You can see there if I didn't, they would have just ran me off the track. And we're coming through now into turn 13, turn 14 campus. And again, you can see that I'm just trying to maintain the gap. I'll pass if an opportunity presents itself. But yeah, I was thinking I was just going to go again the next race, even though that would mean I'd probably have to race Luis again, unfortunately. But you know, that's what happens when, you know, reporting players doesn't do anything and the penalty system's a joke. But anyways, you can see that Moto Guzzi has now caught up to us because of how slow I'm going behind Luis. So Luis goes fully defensive, I back off, and Moto Guzzi does the brave thing to try to pass Luis, but no one just passes Luis, so they cut Moto Guzzi off, and in that commotion, I'm able to make the cutback and pass Luis and take 7th position, which ends up being 6th position. How did that become 6th position? Oh, wait, it's because the All Puppies up ahead got a minute time penalty, that's right. Sorry, so much stuff happened in this race, I can see, but yeah. We end up recovering back to 6th place for 177 points. Honestly, this isn't really that good of a result for me. I could be pushing 200 points just where I am, but after that start and having to deal with Luis and having them in the race and how I know they'd be in the next race, yeah, I was good with just leaving it at this. I didn't feel like tempting fate again. You can see there how the penalty system does somewhat work because some people got DR drops, but not in the way that should have been since Luis still has 99 SR. And that's why I decided not to go again. But anyways, hopefully I can make more videos in the future. Until then, I will see you all next time. So, oh bye, viewers.